In this video, we're going to talk about the 4 things that you need to do to launch a new product on Amazon. Whether you're a new brand with a brand new product or you're an existing brand that's developed a new product in-house, there are essentially 4 key components or 4 main areas you need to do to create a great looking page with maximum number of reviews that's easy to buy for customers so you can have the ultimate success with your product on Amazon. Whether you're a brand new brand launching your first product or an existing brand launching a new product, you have to do everything and do it really well. You've got to manufacture, produce, quality assurance, market that product, get into the right channels. You've got to create a new website, a new page for your website. You've got to get photography. You've got to do all this stuff. You've got to prioritize what's most important too, but sometimes Amazon gets a really low priority, even though if you were to ask most brands, it's really high up on their list of things they want to accomplish. Amazon's very self-service. For brands using Seller Central, they have to do it all themselves, where maybe some of these other things are demanding on their time and they're kind of pulling them instead of having to push themselves into Amazon. When you're launching a new product on Amazon, it's essentially like a 4-legged stool. You need to concentrate on these 4 things to be really successful. Number 1, your page content. So what's actually on your page that customers see. Title, keywords, your secondary images, your infographics, we have to call them explainer images, your A+ page, all that stuff has to be amazing. It has to look and match your brand. You have to have product at Amazon's warehouses so you're eligible for Prime. If it's a Prime eligible product, it makes sense for margin's sake to do that. You have to have reviews. Reviews are a big part of the Amazon ecosystem, a big part of building trust with an end customer. And you need to be advertising. You need to be actually driving traffic to your page to get sales. Now, those are the 4 main things, but if you can prioritize only a couple of them, I would say prioritize the content and the reviews, and advertising should always be last because you don't want to dump a bunch of money into advertising when you don't have the other things figured out. Now, putting all this together isn't as hard as you think. All right, so what do you need to do first? 2 biggest things you need to do right away. Create a great looking page on Amazon with great looking content and get your product into Amazon's warehouse using their FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon program. So we'll kind of break that down here. So let's talk about content. Your look and feel of your Amazon page should be the same look and feel that a customer gets whether they come across your product in a store, whether they visit your Instagram page, whether they go to your website. It should look and feel the same, right? Same colors, same fonts, same logos. Make sure you use the resources you already have, graphic designer on staff or one that you contract with that can create these things for Amazon. And maybe you already have some copy from your site that you can kind of repurpose and maybe adjust to use for Amazon as well. We see brands that have a great assets and great content outside of Amazon, and we look at their Amazon page and it's just they haven't done any of that. The second thing is getting your product into Amazon's warehouses for FBA. Again, that stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. That means they're shipping each one of your products for you, and it makes you eligible for Prime, have the products have that Prime badge on there. And it's actually pretty cheap comparatively to 3PLs and even you doing it yourself. Amazon is just as much of a logistics company as they now are an e-commerce company at this point. By getting your products into FBA, right, you're going to be able to take advantage of a program called Vine. Vine is an Amazon review program. It does require Amazon's brand registry, and we'll talk about that. Vine does allow you to get up to 30 reviews initially per SKU, and all you got to do is give away the product. There's a small fee associated with it now. I think it's $250. Amazon started rolling out in the fall of 2021. So for really high price products doesn't make sense, but for more consumable type products, it's just a cost of really marketing, right? This essentially gets your products into hands of these professional Vine reviewers, and they leave typically great reviews with images, and that is amazing social proof for your product initially on Amazon. But you may be thinking, I'm not ready to do that. There's no minimum. Just put 30 units in a couple boxes, send them off to Amazon via UPS so you can get those initial reviews out there. Once you've done that, you've got a great looking page, you've got some reviews rolling in, then start to send in some more inventory into Amazon. Start to create a process around replenishing, putting products into Amazon's warehouses through FBA. And then the last step would be with that advertising part of things. Once you have all that stuff done, then start dipping your toe into advertising. Amazon themselves, both in Seller Central, and they invite you to it, or emailing or calling you, they want you to advertise. The reason is they make a lot of money on it as well, right? It can drive your product sales, but they also make a lot of money on it. So they want you to start advertising ASAP. Be very careful about dipping your toe into advertising. Start out small. With all this stuff, you have to crawl before you walk, before you run. It is important to note that Amazon's actually kind of adjusted their policies, their strategy on launching new accounts, new products into Amazon over the last couple of years. A couple of years ago, you could go onto Amazon, you could literally the same day set up your Seller Central account, create your product page, even start selling the product. Right now, they've kind of changed all that for a variety of reasons. A lot of fraud happens with new accounts. So Amazon has a process for brands opening new Seller Central accounts, verifying it's actually that brand. You may have to do what's called ungate that category. So if you're like selling in a category like grocery, or if you're selling in health and personal care, you may have to provide Amazon some documentation requirements that need to be reviewed before you can actually start selling in that category. Makes sense. Amazon doesn't want just anybody selling food items that people are going to put into themselves. The third thing is you want to enroll in the Amazon brand registry. We talked about that being a requirement for Vine, and brand registry, Amazon essentially has taken all of these tools and programs and shoved them under the brand registry umbrella. What you need to have for brand registry is an active registered trademark with the USPTO. If you don't have a trademark yet, I definitely encourage you to use Amazon's IP Accelerator. They'll connect you with a law firm that they've just have a relationship that they've kind of vetted. They'll essentially be able to get you your trademark application started. And the great thing is you get access to brand registry pretty much right away after you applied for that trademark with the USPTO. If you don't do that process, it can take anywhere from 6 to 12 months to get that trademark active, and you can't access brand registry until after that's done. The biggest thing is, and we're hearing this directly from brands that we work with, buyers, retail buyers from stores are actually looking at Amazon as a barometer of success, right? They're actually seeing, well, how many reviews does this person have, right? What's this product page look like? Does it look authentic and great? There's plenty of other third-party tools that have come out over the years, Jungle Scout, Helium 10, that literally buyers from retail stores have access to and pay for and use to estimate your sales volume on Amazon. They're using these tools to essentially vet you to see if they want to bring you into their channel. It's not the only data point they're using, but it is definitely a relevant data point. All right, so let's say you're ready to do this, ready to launch a brand new product, new brand, or maybe your existing brand, the brand new product. Take a step back and see what it looks like if you do it successfully. Successfully means that you're building your page on Amazon with quality content. Again, that means having a relevant title with the right keywords in it, having great bullet points that are kind of feature benefit rich statements, but also have keyword phrases in it that your target customer would look for. On the image front, you want to have a great main image, a great primary image that fills up as much of the white space as possible. And then those secondary images, those infographic or explainer type images, really again telling about the features and benefits of your product using a mix of icons, colors, graphics, stock photography, product photography, and creating these images to really drive a customer to buy just directly from those images. Having an A+ page, which is a part again of brand registry, which is kind of like a content-rich product description. That's the first thing, building that content on that page. You want to get that initial inventory into Amazon for Vine, so maybe again it's just 30 units per SKU. That's all we're sending in initially, just to enroll in Vine and get those Vine reviews. And then once you start replenishing with more inventory into Amazon's warehouses for FBA, that's when you start dipping your toe into advertising. Starting slowly with maybe some automatic and branded ad campaigns. What's it look like if you don't do that, right? If you do it incorrectly, you put together a sloppy page. We've seen this, right? You get to creating your Amazon, maybe you've created your Amazon account, you've got on get in the category. I just want to get my product up there. You just throw something up there. Hey, here's a product image. It's a little blurry, but it'll work for now. We'll fix it in the future. You think you will. You're just throwing together some basic bullet points, right? Some 3 or 4 word bullet points. See that a lot, or you're repeating stuff in the bullet points. You're not taking the time to put together a great quality looking page. The other big thing is maybe you're not getting those initial reviews. What happens is, as the brands start advertising, they have a bad page that does not convert well, that has no social proof of the reviews, and their advertising becomes really ineffective and costly because they're driving potential customers to a page that they just aren't compelled to buy from. So what does this look like in a real world scenario for a brand, right? So we've actually worked with a CPG company recently in that kind of healthy snack space, right? And they were actually taking their Amazon page over from another service provider that was actually reselling the product for them. And they were actually launching some new flavors, new pack sizes, kind of creating some new pages. So we, number one, made sure that they had great content up on the page, whether we created some of it and then the brand actually already had some of it as well, making sure that got on all the new pages, right? And all the existing pages too, because they actually went through a rebrand and some of the old pages had the old packaging on it and stuff, and the newer pages have the new stuff. So it's very confusing to a customer what's what. And then also got that initial inventory into Amazon as soon as possible and enrolling them in the Vine program. And then after that, we created some larger shipments to get more inventory in there. We first want to get those first reviews started. Getting started with that great content, those initial reviews, that's going to give potential customers the confidence to buy your product. Time and time again, have that a positive effect in the long term. Again, it kind of builds on itself. As more customers find it, buy it, review it, and are drawn to that page, the more they're going to buy it. On the client side, the brand was really ecstatic because they're able to see the success of what their Amazon page can be and is, and then they're able to actually take that and show that to maybe some buyers in the retailer space and some other investors and things like that to show them, hey, this is what we're doing on Amazon, this is what it looks like. Take a look at a product you've launched in the last, whether it was last month or last year, looking at it with a fine-tooth comb and saying, is my content really solid? Does it match what's on my Facebook page and my website and my product packaging? Is it all tied together really well and help tell that story and provide our brand's value proposition on that page? Are you just sitting on a low number of reviews? Did you launch a product 6 months ago that still is at 15 reviews? Can you use Amazon Vine to get another 15 up to that 30 mark? So just take a look at that and assess where yourself. If you need to, go back and create high quality content for your pages, enroll your products in Vine. Your advertising naturally will probably start performing better and you'll get better return on your ad spend.